always miss it, but still. What's up, Joe? Guess I'm just playing around with Penguin, dude. Don't worry. Penguin is like the biggest brony I know, so we have some fun with that stuff. But all right, here we are, game number 2. What?
No, I'm not the biggest brony. Are you kidding me? You know Tony.
I pretend that I don't, though. It makes me feel better.
All right.
We are in game number 2 here, guys. This is the best of 3. This is, I believe, what, Group A, correct?
Yes. Yep.
For the ASL. It's the Ascended StarCraft League. And we'll see if... oh, I gotta turn the game music back on. That would help. We'll see how this game goes. Currently down 1 at the moment in the lower left corner of the map. It's going to be the Orange Protoss player, Behemoth.
And his opponent spawning in the top right, spawn location, representing pink Zergs everywhere. It is Opiee.
Now, would you say because he won game number 1, he's pretty OP?
What?
OP? Overpowered?
Oh.
Yeah?
Oh.
You know jokes are funny when you have to explain them, right? Like.
Oh. Oh, Rifkin. No.
It's okay. It's okay. I deserve that, the groans.
That one hurt.
But
that
okay.
One hurt.
Real talk for a moment, guys, before we get into anything. There's not a lot of theory crafting that comes into StarCraft 2 from what we saw in game number 1. But one thing I do want to talk about specifically was Behemoth has the right moves. I like the cut of his jib. He's got some moxie. He had some cool ideas in that game. And let's be honest, it's not like he lost terribly, horribly, and it was like, wow, so one-sided. That was actually a little bit close towards the end and a little bit scary for Opiee. I'm sure he was a little bit worried towards the end of that, but I don't know, Penguin. I got some faith that maybe he can bring it back for game 2. What do you think?
Well, I hope so. I would like to see a game 3 just because he did show a pretty wonky strat that game, and generally people who have one wonky strat have more wonky strats. So I want to see his wonky strats.
I like it. That's a good way to describe it. I'll tell you though, honestly, I don't know if that was Opiee getting a good read or if he was blindly going Hydras, because it kind of felt like he was blindly just going Hydras anyways. But if he had gone Roaches, or if he had not seen that coming, or whatever it was that tipped him off, I mean, he saw a ton of gateways, but this, I don't know what, he was already at a Hydras den on the way at that point. I think that Behemoth certainly could have done some more damage with the move he had done. So, you're right, wonky, weird, whatever it is, these guys, they're dressing to impress. And we'll see if they can do it here in game number 2. Now, this is group stage play. For those who don't know or are unfamiliar with this, well, first off, I would hope you're not, because it's a very common thing to see in StarCraft 2. But basically, there's going to be a lot of games played, and winners from each will go play against each other. Losers from each will play against each other, and then we'll find out in the final areas who makes it out of the group stage. Now, I'm assuming unless something crazy's happened, it's still 2 escape per group stage, right?
Yep.
Cool. So 2 out of 4 of these guys today will escape. So you gotta. It's a pretty good chance your favorite player makes it through.
You mean your favorite tempo?
Well, let's be honest. Yes, our favorite tempo.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm rooting for tempo today. I like tempo.
Who doesn't know tempo that does StarCraft, though? I mean, if not for his playstyle, at least for his music. But the guy streams all the time. But you know, we'll save the tempo praise for when we're casting tempo a little bit later.
Yes.
I think.
Most biased series EU.
What we need to do is just like background, put the StarCraft music on mute, and just have his his YouTube channel open or something. But
oh, we should. We actually should.
If production gives me permission. If production gives me permission. No, it's only 4. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's gonna be 4-gate aggression coming out of Behemoth, and this is what I thought we were gonna see last game. And this is definitely capable of doing a lot of damage here, especially if we have Opiee foregoing Roaches once again.
Yeah, it was, again, it's really weird to see, because it's not a lot of Zerg players who do that, but here comes that Roach Warren coming down a little bit earlier, so Opie's not going to be too caught off guard by anything early, I feel. There's no +1 associated with this attack, guys. And, ooh, the pylon's even been scouted. Yeah, this should be taken care of pretty swiftly with 3 lings.
Yeah, he may still be able to get a warp in there, especially with one of the lings actually chasing after that little probe. And yeah, warp gate's not quite done yet, so that's a little unfortunate for him. But well, there's your Core and Zealot gonna come try to save that pylon. Not sure if they will. They should be able to. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe just move commands. It's like one of those like he should, but will he type things. But With Zealots warping in right now, this is sort of the scenario where you want to knock down a third with this force more than anything else. Because there's no third, Behemoth should have a pretty good idea that there's going to be units as a consequence. Like, okay, you didn't put 300 minerals into an expansion, but where did those 300 minerals go? And he's going to find 5 roaches greeting him here in just a second. I like that he's being careful not to engage before the roaches. Now that the roaches are out, we're going to see him engage. There go the lings on top of the Zealots, and ooh, actually, I like the recall.
Yeah, it doesn't lose too much there. And wow, we have a double Stargate follow-up for Behemoth after this. This is a little interesting.
Okay.
Especially with only 2 gases at the moment, but he's adding on the 3rd and the 4th.
But this is something that actually has the potential of working. When you're on 2 bases as a Protoss player, you can actually sustain this because he didn't invest in sentries already. There's no Robotech. He's not looking for immortals, and he's not going for +1 weapons or anything. So chances are, I would imagine Void Rays. But if you guys have never seen him, there's actually a German player named Nomi who he'll do whatever he wants.
Oh no! Don't talk to me about Nomi, man.
Nomi leaves a sour taste in Zerg players' mouths because he does weird things, and one of them is double Stargate with like 8 oracles to follow it up. And that sounds really silly, and it is, but guess what? It works.
Yeah, it's like, it's one of those things that is so dumb it works. We'll see what Behemoth wants to do here.
I'm imagining Void Rays, he's
no,
supply
Void
blocks.
Rays. Yeah, I like that. I actually like Void Rays more.
I think Void Rays are better if you have a decisive plan. Like, you can't just go mass Void Rays and hope to win. But if it's like, okay,
I disagree, Rifkin.
I'm gonna disagree with you disagreeing with me, and hear me out. I think it's strategically better if you plan to do something like a base snipe with a recall or something paired up for the first 4. But if you're gonna sit back and hope you're left alone for 20 minutes on 2 bases, Void Rays, I guess technically you can go for them, but it doesn't necessarily mean you'll win with them.
Nah, I like Mass Void Rays. Mass Void Rays is fun, especially if you do like, you can do really cute stuff like sending your Void Rays along the side, kill off the lair, recall back, shit like that.
All it takes is like a good fungal and Queens to outrange the Void Ray. I mean, and Modulus too, I guess, with the upgrade, but I mean, like, there are good reactions you can do to Mass Void Ray to shut them down without taking much damage in return.
That's true. Very true. Especially with the Hydra Den already done. We have Roach Speed and Hydra Speed on the way. A Macro Hatch already here. +1 starting up now for Behemoth. Actually, +1 for range attacks is actually behind +1 air attacks.
Oh, so he's simply going mass air, yeah. Well, the nice thing about this is because this is a lot more gas intensive than mineral intensive, as weird as that is to consider, you can actually put down a ton of cannons to layer yourself in defense while you just get that air count up. But, I mean, when you guys hear someone talk about Sky Toss, they're referencing, like, carriers, tempests, and Void Rays mixed together, not pure Void Rays. Yeah, and Storm too, but like when you hear Sky Toss, this isn't normally what you
We have a Twilight Castle coming down, and I'm pretty sure that is just gonna be for Storm.
He just lost the mothership core, so no chance of a recall. Do or die with these Void Rays.
I thought that was a pylon.
Nope, that was the mothership core. Building a new one as we speak.
One Void Ray already taking a significant amount of damage. Good micro on the Void Ray for Behemoth. Does allow him to escape with his life. Another Void Ray looks like it will fall instead. And, well, that one survives.
I don't like that he wasted the prismatic alignment like that, though. He popped it off on the Queens. Right now, that would be the difference of this hash rate being dead or not. But instead, he still may just barely get it, but decides to disengage. And this is what I was talking about too, like, you gotta have that decisive strategy. Like, you have to know how to handle this properly to go for a base snipe and get out alive. Losing the mothership core was a terrible start to that, because that's your escape route. That's like if you're robbing a bank, that's your getaway driver getting shot before you even get in the bank.
Yeah, and the reason that Rifkin and I said that we really don't like the waste of the prismatic alignment is that Queens are not armored, and prismatic alignment only actually has an effect against armored units. So the Hydralisks, the Queens, none of that takes extra damage from the Void Ray charge. And now, this is going to be a much harder engagement. The Zealots here to tank and do some damage are going to be very nice here for the Void Rays. Meanwhile, we do have a couple more Void Rays joining up with these units that are already forward, so we have 5 Void Rays total. Third base is already up, so Behemoth is not forced all in or anything like this, but
I don't know.
I'm not too happy that he missed the third.
I don't know about you, but every time I try to get educational with the Void Ray prismatic alignment, I always think back to Grubby's thing about how, like, it might not do more damage, but it instills fear into the zone.
That's so true, though. Like, it looks so much scarier.
The beam is, like, literally, like, 8 times bigger and brighter. Like, of course it looks scarier, but I would actually really like for him to knock down these rocks, too. Like, I don't know why he's not doing that with the Void Rays. Because right now when the third base falls, he's going to have no escape plan either. And no reinforcement point other than pure Warpins.
When this third base falls, have you no faith, Rifkin?
I have faith, but not with the army that's currently standing.
Not with the army that's over on the other side by the natural.
Here
comes the army, though.
Void Rays.
Micro the Void Rays can be good. No Guardian Shields coming up just yet. There it is. Zealots trying to close the distance as well. And actually, the Hydras are going after the Zealots first, and that's not really what you want to happen here. They're focusing down the Mothership Core, but not before Overcharge does get launched there. And now,
he
looks
holds.
like Behemoth is going to hold.
I should have had more faith, Penguin, is what this boils down to. I'm going to sign up for the Church of Behemoth as soon as we're done with the cast today.
Respect the Void Rays, Rifkin. Respect the Void Rays.
The Son, the Father, and the Holy Void Ray. I hate you for saying that, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. That's like an unforgivable meme.
Alright, so Void Rays are still being produced. We don't have a Templar Archives, though. Just Zealots. Did we have Charge? Nope, no Charge research.
It's on
there
the
we
way.
go. Charge starting up now.
Yeah. This is a little unfortunate, too, because one big thing for Opiee is, of course, he's still got a couple Overlords floating around the map. One of them, of course, down here in plain sight. It'd be nice for the Voiders to go snipe it off, because it will really limit down scouting information later on, of course. But as we see, we got Pathogen Glands on the way. Fungal Growth will be a great solution to dealing with what is way too many Void Rays.
Yeah.
I mean, the big thing about it, too, guys, is, like, it's not... Fungal Growth really doesn't do a lot of damage. It's nice. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. But it's about limiting their range, because Void Rays are... Their greatest weakness is they have a terrible range and they move slow.
Yeah, it's very, very important that the Infestors come out to try to deal with the Void Rays. And even if the Infestors don't do that much damage to Fungal, Chain Fungals can still kill off the Void Rays. If you get a Miracle Fungal on like half the Void Rays, and your standing army is too big to be Zerg to engage in, all of a sudden you get half of their Void Rays for free.
Yeah. The Archons coming in are actually... They're going to be a really nice buffer, but I kind of feel with the Hydra's DPS that's currently here, I'm not sure if they'll add too much to this fight. A little bit late, but the splash damage absolutely necessary. Void Rays are going to go down, though. There's no Zealots to be that cannon fodder that there were in the initial engagement. And, actually, again, with that good control, pull back on the Void Rays, but it's not going to matter. There's just too much here.
Yeah, the Hydra's not taking any extra damage from the Prismatic Alignment. The Mothership Core missed the overcharge before it went down, and Behemoth forces GG out. Opiee takes this first series.